Hi guys, it's Mary McIntyre. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, quick and simple project. I have two more moulds that I got in my Shein haul a while ago that I haven't used yet. So I have my Coffin trinket tray, which I had to, when I did the haul, you may remember it had a hole in it. So I've plugged that hole with hot glue and I'm just going to hope that the resin doesn't pour out of that. So yeah, I've got that one and I'm going to dust that mould with Plum Let's Resin chameleon powder. It's the beautiful kind of pinky purple colour, and the resin I will colour with black. And for both of these, so the bat is like a bat wall sconce tea light holder thing. Obviously if you're making it with resin, don't put naked flames on this, use a battery candle, but I'm going to use the grape, which has got more of a kind of bluish purple colour shift. So yeah, I'm going to just dust the mould with that as well. Do bear in mind with this mould that it's a 3-part mould, and this piece here kind of acts as a little shelf for the sconce to sit on. If you brush the mould with mica powder, one side will be plain black, one side will be coloured, but you're not going to see it, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to dust the entire mould with black anyway, just dust it, sorry, with the chameleon powder. Once I've demoulded, I wanted to put something on the lid of this, so I finally got some temporary tattoos from Amazon. This huge batch here cost me about £7. I've got more than I'll ever need probably, but as Claire's Crafty Corner always says, when in doubt slap a tattoo on it, and I've never done it, and I love the way that tattoos look in resin. So I want to use something a bit witchy on the coffin lid, so I haven't decided which one yet. The resin that I'm using is the Apex high gloss resin. I have lots of this in stock at the moment, so that's what I'm going to use. Going to colour it with the Vista liquid pigment. I'm getting low on this. This stuff's amazing. Gives you a lovely deep black colour with no bubbles, no streaking. I will of course be wearing my PPE when I do the resin, so I always wear my half mask respirator, an apron and nitrile glove. So I will get these brushed with mica powder. So let's get started. Okay, it hasn't quite been 24 hours since I poured these. I'm gonna do the bat first, I think. Part of this got poured early, so that piece will be nice and cured because I had leftover resin. I was doing projects side by side, so I'll pop that out. I cannot remember what colour this mica powder looks when it's on black, so it'll be a nice surprise for me to see what colour the bat has turned out. I'm going to have to turn it over and do this because the resin won't be fully strong. I don't want to bend it or risk breaking this, so all these little divots are gripping. So I'm just going to carefully run around and peel up from there. Try to not peep. I'm looking away. You guys might get a sneak on camera, but I am gonna do that thing. I'm gonna do that YouTuber thing of hiding it and then doing a reveal. Alright, let's have a look at this little bat dude. This is a wall mounted candle sconce. So, oh, that's adorable. And it's not too pink either. It's got a hint of purpley sparkle, but it's quite dark, which is what I wanted. So that goes in there. I've never had, does that go in there? I've never actually had a resin thing fit. Oh, is it like that? I think it's like that. And then that allegedly goes in here, except they never ever fit. Kind of how it will go in when I'll sand it down a smidge so that goes in. So that sits on the wall somewhere, and you put a tea light in there, so that's really cute. I'm going to disassemble it for now because it's clearly not ready to be put together with his friends. I'll just leave those pieces flat for now. So let's have a look at the coffin. So the air bubbles on the lip of this, oh my gosh, if I've got bubble free on this I'll be genuinely speechless. I sat here for 20 minutes and new bubbles just kept appearing under this lip. It was a nightmare. So I spent a long time trying to get them, so I'm hoping that the lid is okay. No, there's tons of bubbles. But it's on the underside of the lip, so it should be okay. Oh, that colour. Wow. That is beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. Really like that. Very witchy. Blob did hold, because this is the mould that had a hole in it. I'm probably going to have to repatch it before I use it again, but it does mean there's going to be an imperfection in the resin. But I just never got round to complaining about it, and the mould was like £2 or something, so it's just is what it is when you buy from those sorts of shops. So I do have a little bit of a crack there where there's a chunk missing from the mould, but it kept the resin in, it didn't spill, and that's the most important thing. Oh, right, okay. So, test now is going to be whether the lid fits, because sometimes on these cheap moulds they don't, but that solid silicone did actually not bow too much, so that lid does fit. So one thing that I have never done is put tattoos on resin, and I really like the result. So I'm just trying to decide whether to do, I like these chains with the suns and moons on, they're really nice. I could just put one down the centre, that'd look good. With the moons, the hanging moons. So cut that out. Yeah, I think that'll work. So the way that you do this is to take off the protective peel, put that face down, spritz this so that I don't get my desk completely saturated, just it's years since I've used one of these temporary tattoos. These are the ones that are for skin, but they work really well in resin. I've never done this on resin. I don't know how long to leave it for. Is that already sliding off? Yeah, it's already coming off. Slide away. Yay! It's actually not far off straight as well. I really wanted to go in and put something in all of these embossed details. I have bought a set of resin markers, these ones, which I believe, yeah, I got for Just For You online, and I've been looking, and I think the copper would go well. I've got a piece of scrap resin here, and I think the copper one would look good with this colour and its colour shift. And the only thing I'm nervous about is that once those markers are on, if you don't wipe off overspill immediately, it's really hard to get it off. So I'm a bit worried that if I get overspill, especially in these tiny little bits, because these have just got a chiseled nib, I'm thinking of kind of pushing the marker down to get some paint to blob on the mat, and then using a brush to get into those tiny ones. But I don't know. I'm going to have a play off camera and see what I can do, and wipe off the excess. I've also threaded using some invisible thread, strong invisible thread, and some black beads that I had in my stash to hang this up nicely. I put some little eyelet hooks in the corners there, so I've got something to hang that looks really nice and catches the light as well. So I'm going to have a play and see what I can do with these markers, and then I will update you. Right, that was a bit of a nightmare, but I love it. I absolutely love the effect that copper has had. Where the overspill was that wouldn't come off, I was starting to rub off into the mica powder and damage the surface. So what I've done is intentionally added a few little smears, a bit like a gilding wax. So there is a bit of overspill in some of those areas. I also did the tips of these wings as well. And I also did the bit where the tea light holder goes. So I will let this fully dry, and I'll assemble it and show you the final results of both of them.